Welcome, guys, to our week one wrap up and our week two prep party, I'm going to call it. We want to just say congratulations for getting through week one. We're super pumped for you guys, and we have hopefully some words of wisdom to empower you to make week two just as good or better. So I'm going to kick it on over to Kim, who has a dinner date.
Lunch. I'm going for lunch at 5 o'clock. Okay, so real quick, I just, sorry to change the time. I know that we talked about different things, and yes, I am on vacation, but I just kind of wanted to say that I'm also really committed to you all, and I'm committed to these 100 days. I'm doing my best to eat on plan, and not because I'm like trying to whatever, but I committed to myself and I committed to all of you. And so someone was like, I can't believe you're working on vacation. This isn't work, y'all. This is like the joy. This is joyful. Actually, to be honest, I could sit here and talk to you for an hour and I would probably might be more enjoyable than going into a restaurant and tackling children, but that's okay. So I just wanted to say that, no matter what you do, no matter what comes up, whether it's birthdays, anniversaries, whatever, you get to choose how committed you are. And I think that, I've kind of haphazardly done programs all this year, and I've kind of haphazardly gotten results. And I'm at this point in the game, I'm committed all in. I want to see, I finally beat that plateau that feels so good. And not because the weight is a number or, I'm fixated on a number, but I'm fixated on growth, right? I want movement. I want forward movement. And I know that I have time, weight to lose. I know I have inches to lose. So for me, it's forward moving. And so I'm pumped because I got to listen to a lot of you and hear from you that, you've had an incredible week one. I feel like we can all agree on one thing, and that we're super sore, which is awesome because soreness means it's working. I feel like everyone's like, there's, so many things that I can get better at, which agreed. I mean, I was doing the flow of the day and I'm like, I love that I have to work up to do the splits. In 100 days, I will do the splits. I'm going to record myself so I can see how much better I'm getting. But I just feel like if you're not seeing those results and you're 1 week in, don't let that discourage you. Don't let what's happening for somebody else's day 365, day 1069, day 5 for somebody else be what you compare yourself to, because this is your journey. Maybe you started your period. Maybe you had stress. Maybe you're water weight. Maybe you just had a baby. Maybe you're trying to have a baby. Maybe means that you need to keep in mind that there is nobody else to compare yourself to because it's your journey. And if somebody loses 10 pounds in 1 week, which FYI can happen, it doesn't mean that if you gain 5 pounds in 1 week that you're any different. Maybe your body was like, wow, we're lifting weights. Let's hold on to muscle. And then in 2 weeks' time, you're going to start burning that fat because that's how it kind of works. So I just want to encourage you to stay committed, encourage you not to look to your left or look to your right, but just to stay centered and focused on your personal journey. Because that ultimately is going to move you through day 1 to day 101. So let this just be something that we constantly encourage one another on and get excited for week 2. The only real thing, I'm going to turn it over to Andy to kind of just show you, or a couple things and take you there. But one thing I do want to show you, and because I've been spending a lot of time this week making sure that people's pods are people are checking in, and I heard a lot back that like, oh, I didn't even know I had a pod, and that made me so sad. And I'm like, oh man, we missed it. But you know what? It's because there's so many notifications. But guess what? That's not a bad thing. Notifications mean good stuff is happening, but it's how you manage it is how it's going to work for you. So I'm going to actually pull it up, and I'm going to pull up your challenge group tracker, and I'm going to show you, number one, real quick, how to tag somebody. I know this is like maybe real easy, but if I am checking in for the night, this is not, I had a cocktail at dinner. This is me admitting my cheat today, okay? And then I say, okay, this is my tribe, Afton. So you hit the @ sign, you add the people. Oops, it's not my girl. Make sure you get the right one. Where'd she go? Oh, Brandy. That's why. Brandy and Sarah. Okay, those are my humans. If that right there stresses you out because it's too many people to click, I'm going to teach you something really rad. on your phone, you can go into your settings. I'm going to show you how to do this on a computer. You're going to go into your settings. I'm going to share a new screen with you. Hold on. Where did it go? Keyboard. Okay. Share. Okay, so on your phone, it works the same way. You go into your what is it on your phone? Go into general, and then you're going to go into keyboard. Okay, now I'm in keyboard, and you're going to go to shortcuts. No, you're going to go to text, okay? And you're going to insert a fast thing. So I'm going to make a melt 17 because we are 17 meltdowns is our name. And I'm going to add, oops, not those. I'm going to add all of these people's, where'd they go? Where'd it go? Right here. Things. So then when I click, okay, I'm going to stop share and I'm going to share again and go back into Chrome and I'm going to write melt 17. Of course, it's not going to work because I'm, okay, you get the gist. You would hit melt 17. It just needs to populate your settings. Hold on. Let me close this. Okay. Melt 17. Did I do it wrong? Well, usually it would work. I swear it works. Just go in and play with it. You will, I promise it will work. It's just that I'm having, maybe it's because I'm up in the mountains. I promise though, then all you have to do is type in your little dictation and it will load your people and you'll never have to think about remembering all those names again. That's how simple it is. So number one, if you don't know who your pod is, reach out to your coach. She will make sure that you have one. Number two, get to know these people. You can message them on Facebook. You can, maybe you don't really like even checking the app. Well, this pod might be great for you then, because then you have this accountability on the side and the app's not overwhelming and away you go. And I wanted to show you that, and of course it wouldn't work for me. But if you go into your phone, you can do the exact same thing, set up that little quick shortcut, and away you go. And then that way you have everything that you would ever need. So I wanted to show you that. I wanted to, Andy, I'll let you go over notifications because you're on your, can you do it from your computer? I don't know. I actually have no idea. But well, you can show them that. And the only other thing that I wanted to, I'll let you wrap them up with that was how to win. Okay, so because there's just been a confusion and maybe this week one will be like a slide, but all you have to do to win a weekly prize is to show up in the app, comment, tag, be an encourager, be excited for people, show that you're kind of committed. And then every Saturday there will be a post and it will say Saturday. And on Saturday, you're going to go in and you're going to log your, hey, I'm sleeping better. Hey, I lost 6 inches. Hey, I don't know, whatever. That marriage conflict that I've been constantly battling, I finally sat down and had that one-on-one. You're going to share those non-skill victories and skill victories if you want. That's going to get you on Sunday's leaderboard. If you're on Sunday's leaderboard, there will be a winner chosen at random, and you will win something weekly. You have one chance, you can't win again, so you get an opportunity to win once a week. The way to win the tank top at the very end is every 20 days, there's the tracker sheet. It's in your B100 book. And Jericho wants us to share our photo update as well as our inches and our scale. If you post that in the designated post for 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, so 5 times, you will be in the winnings for a tank top. Does that make sense? Is that clear?
Yeah. And just to reiterate, the whole point of asking for you guys to do that is accountability, the utmost accountability to say that you're on track. And we're going to talk about staying on track. so don't you worry. We don't want anybody to feel behind. I've gotten this question already week 1. There's been people out of town. There's been people at work conferences. There's been people at funerals, unfortunately, and already people feeling behind, and we're day 7. We don't want anybody to feel behind. The whole goal of this is not to do 100 workouts in 100 days necessarily. It's to complete 100 workouts, to feel that accomplishment of doing that. So if it takes you 130 days, well, you still did 100 workouts, and we're going to continue this group on past 100 days for those of you who maybe did not know that. So we will be here for you. So with that, showing that 20-day progress, maybe you're not done with day 20 of the workouts on official day 20 in the group. Show where you're at. You can say when you post your day 20 tracker, even if you haven't done the 20th workout yet, we don't want you to feel like you have to cram 3 workouts in for 5 days straight to get caught up. We just want you to keep pressing play every day. And on day 20, wherever you're at, share that, share your progress, because that is where we can truly help you. You know, if we get to day 20 and you've only done 5 workouts, well, then we need to talk about that, because we want to be able to wrap our arms around you and help you get moving a little bit more to consistent workouts throughout the week. You know, but if you're at 18, 19, or, you know, I know that's like a big jump in between, we want to celebrate that. So don't feel behind. I've had a lot of people asking, you know, if I'm behind, should I double up till I get caught up? Not necessarily. I mean, there's some workouts I wouldn't want to do back to back the way that they are. I wouldn't want to do Meltcon and, you know, downwards, whatever, downward strength, back to back. I'm just saying, so listen to your body. Do what makes sense if you do decide to double. If you want to double, I'm not saying not to do that, but don't do it just for the sake because you feel like you're trying to catch up. There's nothing to catch up to. This is all about consistency in a long-term life, not just this 100-day challenge, 100 workout challenge. So if there's any questions with that, please let us know. Reach out to your coach. If you want some guidance, like, hey, I missed a lot. What could I do this week? Where would it be safe to double up? If you want some guidance there, ask your coach. We would love to share with you which workouts would be best paired together without hurting yourself or overdoing it, because that's not the goal. We want you guys to stay safe. Kim, before you go, do you have anything else you wanted to say about that?
No, I just want to say that awesome first week. I loved every minute, and I hope that you guys did too. Remember, if you have feedback for us, if you want to share, you know, you've got like, hey, this would work really well, or hey, what, you know, don't be afraid. This is we're all on the same adventure. We're all doing this exact same thing for the very first time. So don't be afraid to let us know what would be, you know, what would work or what we'd like to see more of. The Instagram challenges are not points. You don't have to do anything for you. All it is just to keep you coming back to the app and have fun. Or just to like, hey, log in. Let's go and tag each other in the Instagram stories because it's fun. And you just never know what that one post might do for somebody's life. Like, you never know that. Like, I just got a text from a girlfriend who jumped in and she's like, hey, I posted my Why Wednesday, and like 3 of my girlfriends from college want to now join. And she's not a coach, but she's going to help them jump into something that is totally potentially going to be. And that's really all the point of it. It's just to have fun and keep you accountable and have you keep moving forward. But other than that, that's all I have. You all have the best call. I can't wait to watch the end and kick butt Monday morning. That's it. Hasta luego.
Enjoy your dinner.
I will. Bye, friends.
Okay, another little tip on don't feel behind. If you are looking at the 100 calendar and say you're going on vacation, which I am this week, and you don't want to bring weights, what I would suggest, if you're going to skip around, cross off the one that you actually did and then go back to the others or whatever. So because they're numbered in the app, I think this would, or in Beachbody On Demand, I think this would just make it a lot more clear and sensible and organized as you go forward in the workouts. So if you decide to do workout 10 tomorrow because you don't want to use weights, then cross off 10 and go back to 9 when you're home or whatever, just as an example. And one last thing, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. And if any of the other coaches have anything to add, I certainly want to hear from you girls too, anything nutrition-wise. I know we've gotten questions about that. But when in terms of notifications, I know we've like hit this on the head a bunch, but make sure you have your notifications turned on. Just to comments and mentions would be my suggestion. You can turn off the likes because that's when it kind of feels overwhelming. Your phone might be going off all the time, or you might have it turned the sound off. But when you look at like 100 notifications, and then you might not even want to click the app. We don't want that. So what I would suggest is just turn off the one to likes. You know, we're all going to like your post, I promise you. But you do want to get those comments and those mentions, and you do want some notifications on so that you get the messages from us coaches. I know I personally am messaging my girls through the app, so I'm really hopeful that you girls are seeing those messages. And then lastly, if you don't want to miss any of the coach posts, so we pin post 3 times a day, specific things every morning. If you've kind of seen, it's something, you know, a little bit motivational, maybe a little bit about that workout of the day, something like that, a tip for the day. And that's always posted at 3 a.m. Pacific time. At 11 a.m. Pacific time, we always post a recipe Monday through Friday. And then on Saturday, that's where you'll see that Saturday post that we want you to check in on. And on Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific time is when we will post the leaderboard for the week for everybody who shared on the Saturday post. And then it starts over. And then at 3 p.m. every day, Pacific time, Monday through Friday, we have a challenge from the Be Brave book. That's what those posts are. So if you're the type of person that doesn't want to miss any of it, but you also don't want to be scrolling, trying to find those posts, if you log in anytime from 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific, you will see that coach post pinned to the top. You won't miss it. You won't have to scroll. Same thing anytime from 11 to 3 p.m. You'll see that recipe. And then again, anytime 3 p.m. on to the next day at 3 a.m., you'll see that last coach post. So I hope that kind of helps make it feel maybe a little bit less intimidating when you go into your app, because we all want you in there and celebrating and encouraging and sharing. So I would really love to hear from any of you girls who have questions, and any other coaches on here who maybe want to share anything that's been helpful in your pods or your perspective as a coach. So I'm going to open it up. You can unmute yourself if you're new to Zoom, if you have something you want to say. Quiet, and that's okay. My one thing that's really been on my mind a lot this week as I've been praying over this group is the nutrition component. For me, that's where I struggle most. I would love to press play for an hour every day if my kids would let me. I love what I get from the fitness aspect, but I struggle with nutrition. And if you're brand new to this, I want to make sure that you're feeling good about the nutrition piece, that it's, we can do as much as we can do as coaches to make that part not overwhelming and simple. I personally am all about simple in how I cook and how I feed myself and how I feed my kids and my family. So if you have nutrition questions, please ask your coach, or you can of course ask on this call. The book has a lot of really yummy recipes, but it doesn't exactly break down. Maybe you're seeing the different portion control containers or 2B mindset and you're like, I don't know what that means. Ask your coach and she can absolutely explain that better to you.
I have a quick nutrition question.
Mm-hmm.
Can we ever do 2 Shakeologies in one day?
That's a great question. I'd say yes. I wouldn't do it every day, but there is, I'll be honest, a couple times a week where that just fits my busy schedule with sports or whatever going on with kids, where I always have it for breakfast, and then it's just convenient to have it again for dinner. And I think that's okay. It's definitely not meant to be your only food, but once or twice a week, if you're doubling up, that's totally fine.
Okay.
The only thing I'll add to that is if you're a pregnant mama, the recommendation is to not do 2 in a day, just 1 a day. But the rest of us, like myself, who is not expecting a child, a few times a week 2 is fine. Just make sure that if you are following along any of the if you've figured out container systems at all, to make sure that even just your nutrition guide that you are following, to make sure that you add that second Shakeology. It's not just like a freebie, to make sure to add that as protein, and then whatever else you mix into it, fruit or veggies or whatever.
Okay. Thank you.
Does anybody have any hacks or ideas? I tend to just not eat much throughout the day. Just it's too hard running around chasing kids at work and coming home and dealing with sports. So I tend to just like have a baggie of fruit in the middle of the morning. And then if I'm at work and I can actually eat lunch, then I eat lunch. If not, then I'm not generally an eater until dinner time.
So would
And
it be better for you if you could make your shake for lunch then because it's so fast, or would that be too hard to make at work?
I wouldn't have I mean, I could do it. I just it wouldn't be like the way that I like it. So like what I'll do is, because I go back to work technically starting Tuesday, but like what I'll do is that'll be my breakfast. And then, cause I'll have it, I'll work out and then I'll have it right before I run out the door. So does anybody have any like quick, something that's easy that doesn't require maybe even heating up or anything like that? We have a full kitchen, but in chasing kids, because I could sit down and all could be well, and then a kid goes into crisis mode and I've got a bolt.
So something that you don't even need to warm up is what you're looking for.
Would be, I mean, yeah, that would probably be the easiest for me.
Do you have time at all, like on the weekend, or to meal prep at all, or are you really needing things that are like just one day at a time?
I do kind of one day at a time. Like I'll shop, like usually Sundays are our shop. Let's go get everything we need for the week, but we don't prep until, there's 3 of us adults in the house. So one of us is always, on dinner duty, whoever's not chasing kids to sports. So I don't prep a ton ahead of time, but I might have to change that.
Yeah, I would recommend something that's super, could be super easy for you is to do some type of salad that you prep, because that's something, if you get all the ingredients, and especially if you get like a pre-mixed veggie or like lettuce greens blend, and then just get 4 containers or 5 containers for the whole week. As long as you're not going to get bored if it's the same thing every day, or you can do different variations. So you could just put your greens, just put the containers out, scoop out a cup of greens in each one, add, you could do different proteins. And if you need something that's super easy, I don't know where you grocery shop, but you can get pre-cooked like chicken breasts, or you can get lunch meat or things, to mix it up. So you can do, or even canned tuna, and then just put a different protein or 2, mix it up for the week, like chicken one day, then tuna the next, however. And then, any other additional like veggies or whatever plan you're following. Just because then that can go in the fridge and you can pull it out and eat it. And you're keeping food going throughout the day, which is really good for your body, is to be eating throughout the day. And so that might be a solution for you. And you can even get pre-cut veggies, if you just are needing like a time saver.
Okay.
Would be an option.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Because some days, some days I have the time to work, and other days, I work in elementary school. You don't know when somebody's going to have a crisis, schools on lockdown. So it's just, this is the first program I've ever done. So I'm still trying to kind of learn it all.
And I'm a big
grief with
also I do salads and I get veggie patties, for the protein. I usually shop at Trader Joe's, which is just super easy. I get my salad, my vegetables, and then the protein patties, and just put that together for a lunch. So that's an idea.
Thanks.
Julie, did you have something to add? Oh, now you look frozen. Whoops. Oh, there you are. You need to unmute, girlfriend. Julie, we can't hear you. Unmute.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I keep. I was trying to type it, and I'm not a very good typer on the phone. But I keep things incredibly simple. So I keep things around my house. Like I'll just make sure I've got the right kind of carbs that I want to eat for bread or for tortillas, and I just make sandwiches or roll-ups and take those. Take chopped vegetables. Take just the containerized like fruit, fresh fruit. I take little things of cottage cheese with me, and I stick that all in my refrigerator at work. And then I grab whatever I can when I need to during the day. I have I'm not chasing kids, but I am happen to work around my client contacts and my appointments. And I can't always say I'm going to eat at noon, but it's all there. So as soon as I get a break, I can just run back to the back room, grab my sandwich, grab a bag of fruit or a bag of veggies, and I've got that meal taken care of. So, and I don't mind eating the same thing over and over again, so I can make up a few sandwiches and cut them in half, and I'm good to go.
I'm the same way. It doesn't bother me to eat the same thing all the time.
And sometimes, I know you said not things that heat up, but my trick is, now these do need to be heated up, is I make a big batch anytime I actually do cook dinner, because I don't like cooking dinner. I make enough where it's going to last at least one day of lunch, because that is totally my downfall. If I don't have something ready for me just to grab, throw in the microwave, or grab and eat, then I just don't eat, and I snack, and I finish what my kids are eating or whatever. It's definitely a bad habit of mine. So even cooking, you said sometimes it's a scramble in the evening for whoever's home to make dinner. Maybe since you don't mind eating the same thing, you could make a large batch of dinner that maybe you're going to eat 3 nights a week. Then that's covered. That's one less thing to do. But definitely try to get in habit of prepping on Sunday. Sounds like you have the shopping taken care of on Sunday. So if you just prep even if it's just the lunches on Sunday and your snacks, you will feel so much more set up going into the week, and you won't, sometimes it's such a mental game. You don't have anything, and then you're fretting about it, and then you're like, do I snack? Do I not? Da, da, da. This will clear all of that up. But it does take a commitment to do that on Sundays, just like everything else. But it's worth it. I promise.
Well, it might have to start being that way with going back to work, and I haven't been working all summer. So
yeah.
And that'll probably be our
it's so true that your results will be so much better if you're keeping your metabolism revved up, like Anna mentioned. When we don't eat, then whatever you eat, even if it's the right thing, it's just not burning the calories, and it's not adding to the workout that you work so hard in like it should and could be. It's like you put your work in the morning or whenever you're doing your workout, you want to back that with your nutrition as much as possible, and setting yourself up for success for the week would be gold. Being loud in my house. Sorry.
Daddy, be quiet. Did Mom see a call?
My husband is my 5th child.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Anyways, are there any other questions?
I just want to reiterate, for those of you listening to this call, reiterate what Andy just said about your results are really going to be linked to your nutrition as well. And I know we're all so pumped about checking off up the calendar and doing the workouts and having fun, learning new moves and trying all the crazy jumps. But to also remember that that's a piece of this, and we're all committed here, and we want to see some types of results. And that might be you're gaining muscle, or you're wanting to actually gain some weight, or you're trying to lose, or you're trying to maintain. Every single one of those things is also going to be linked to your nutrition and what you are fueling your body with, food-wise. And so if you are struggling with that at all, or just want suggestions, just like we talked through for don't have to heat up lunch, talk to us, ask questions. That's what we are here for as your coaches. And especially in this group, if you want to ask it in the group so then other people can benefit from what we have to share in the comments, feel free to do that, or reach out to your coach individually. But just know that is a piece of this, and you will most definitely see results when you are doing the fitness plus nutrition. So don't be discouraged if this week you were still just trying to figure it out. We're all still learning this program. Maybe your win this week is that you did every workout and you're like on a routine. So don't get hard on yourself if nutrition wasn't what you wanted it to be, or you were still eating however. This is a new week, so now you have a week of workouts under your belt, and now maybe mix in trying to change what you're eating, get into a better routine with that. And we'll just take this one day, 1 week at a time, and to have grace for yourself through it, because the more you're able to do that, actually your body will start releasing things it's holding on to, because that stress and tension of like, I'm not doing it right, your body actually reacts to that and holds on, because it's like, I'm in crisis mode. So if you can just let it go every night and take the next day as a new day, you'll actually see the results that you're looking for.
Perfect. I totally agree. So one more thing, and then we'll let you guys go. I just want to say, just as much as Sunday is, and I hope becomes your routine of prepping for your nutrition for the week, I also want to encourage you to prep for your week schedule-wise. So we have the awesome ability to look forward, and you can click the details next to the workouts to see if there's weights or not weights or what's to come for the next week. So look at what you have going on in your personal life. What are your priorities? And look at what workouts are coming up and schedule those into your planner. Make that commitment to yourself so that you don't get jammed up. You knew you had a dentist appointment at 8 a.m., which changes your whole morning around. You already know that. Plan ahead so that you can go into this week knowing you're going to kill it no matter what's coming up. Vacations, kids going back to school, whatever it is, you have the power to put as much control into that right now by scheduling them out. And if stuff happens, because it will, like Anna said, give yourself grace and just pick yourself up the next day and keep going. All right, girls. Well, we will definitely be having another call. Oh, Julie, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to add to that a little bit. Remember that you're also in control of this. They're numbered and everything's in there. But if you know you've got things going on in a day, and maybe it's not a great day for a leg day, like I'm not going to do a leg day on a day I'm planning on running. Move those workouts to meet you. This is your program, and you have as much flexibility as you want to put in it. So the goal is to get your 100 workouts in a way that really meet your needs. And it doesn't matter if you change the order that they're in. You just get them done when it works for you, and in a way that really enhances your life. It's not punishment. It really is an opportunity. So that was another thought.
Perfect. I agree 100. Okay. Well, I hope you guys cannot hear my husband right now. He's being so loud. Anyways, I hope you all have a great night. Happy week 2. Are there any last comments or questions before we wrap? No? Okay. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.